What's going on, Workforce? Brian here.
Chris here.
And we've got Live Letter 60, the summary for you guys today. Lots of news to cover, a lot of information, and a handful of surprises that threw us off guard. If you guys missed the full event and you want to watch that, you want to get all the nitty-gritty details, you can check the link in the description below. You can go give that a watch if you want to hang out with us for the full 3-hour cast that has just wrapped up. But to try and keep this in a summary format, we're going to shoot for 20 minutes. That was 30 seconds used on an intro.
All the time. They can already see whether or not we made it.
We'll find out. All right, Chris, let's start with what do we know? 535, October 13th, and they spent a good chunk at the beginning of this going over 535. Okay, do we want to cover that?
So basically 535, they didn't reveal anything new, but just as a reminder, that is the beginning of the multiplayer portion of the relic. That is Bojan. That is mostly just make sure you've done your single player portions to either your Sky Steel tools, the crafting, or you're prepped and you're ready. You'll be 71 plus. Get in there, enjoy it. It was nothing new, so you're welcome to go check out our 5.3 live letter if you want all the details on that. I would say let's just go ahead and move on, and we plan on seeing you guys live over on Twitch Tuesday, 8
o'clock a.m. I'm going to be live. We're going to be hanging out, and we're going to be going through the front, covering it, learning it, just experiencing the whole thing. What's important to note is they say that patch 5.4 is on target for December. I think that's really big news, because the question is that would they make December? And if they didn't think they would, it would not make sense to tell us now. They could say 5.4.
Yeah, they didn't have to call that.
They didn't have to call it. They said early December is the release window. So take your bets now. Let us know in the comments below. Are you the 1st? Are you the 8th? Are you the 15th? After the 15th, it falls out of the early category and into the holidays. So we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe. You don't know Yoshi P's lingo. They did show off the Resistance gear. So if you want to see those screenshots, they're over on the Reddit Discord. It looks awesome for Boja.
Mm-hmm.
So, the name of the patch, Futures Rewritten. This is after 5.3 brought Shadowbringers to a conclusion. And we are going to be looking at a different future now, question mark. Thank you, HP, for that little...
Now the question is it a better future?
I don't know.
Time travel. You never know.
If it's worse, is it our fault?
Yeah.
So they did say with 5.4, just to touch on one more thing, that 5.4.1 won't be till January, so the devs can enjoy the holidays. So for all you people out there that are Savage Extreme players, hardcore content, just know that they intend to have the holidays off, so you can probably expect the same. Now with 5.4,
it's Savage drops with 5.4 day and date. There's no
day and
delay.
date, right? Yeah. So like they're not trying to stall anything. I just thought like it was really nice to know that there's no content coming around
the holiday. Got it.
The holidays, right?
Gotcha.
So if they had stalled Savage or like this expansion has been anything but typical.
That's true. That's a fair point.
So I'm just saying it was nice to have it confirmed. This whole live letter, that's my general feeling. It was nice to have it confirmed. I don't really feel there was anything in this that surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just nice.
Yeah, so if there's a bug or whatever in Savage, note that the hot fixes will flow in January.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so 5.4, it'll have some main scenario. We know that. And it'll have a single dungeon. We know that. That's Matoya's Relict. They said we don't. There's multiple people calling themselves Matoya. We don't know who it's going to be. This will be a story dungeon, which does mean it will be trust compatible. They showed off a screenshot, neat little like stairs made of books, cool tunnels, like a cauldron furnace looking thing. Mm-hmm. Looks awesome. The Sorrows of Werlit will get new quests. You said you thought that you weren't sure that would be the case, or if they'd move to something different.
So the fact that they called it the Sorrows of Werlit confused me a little bit, namely because I was thinking ultimately I was like, oh, I thought that was the Sapphire, but essentially the Sorrows of Werlit is the whole arcing story of the weapons. So I'm not surprised by that. I was just for some reason caught off guard by the name. I was like, wait, I thought we got that with 5.3.5, but then again, I'm an idiot, so here we go.
So they showed us a screenshot with kind of a giant robot in the background.
Emerald
and they
weapon.
Said that our trial will be Emerald Weapon or Emerald Weapon Extreme. That is not the name. They just said Emerald Weapon, so they just called it what we're going to call it. The name will probably be something much more spoilery.
Mm-hmm. And so I would love to know y'all's predictions. Does this mean we're going to get Diamond maybe as a part of the 5.5 patch trial? I'm very curious as what you guys think. in the comments. All right, go ahead.
And then we will be finishing up the Eden storyline. You will need to have cleared the 5-3 main scenario, not the 5-4 main scenario, to get into Eden's Promise. And then, of course, there'll be Eden's Promise Savage. And so that does seem like that's going to be a day and date. I didn't know with all the delays, like, you just never know. So it's nice to see that this all looks like it intends to roll out as would have been expected before the world lit on fire.
Job adjustments. The number one question I think we got from anybody coming into the stream late. Did they talk about what's changing with the jobs? Kinda. Speaking of kinda, there's a gaming kinda channel. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, so Monk will get a bigger rework. That's not new. They already told us they were going to do some work with Grease Lightning and among others. But they basically stuck to the new standard where they do all job adjustment news in part 2, which we think will be in that kind of end of November timeframe, usually right around that kind of 2-week time period before the next patch. They used to give us like big general like design ideas and then give us firm numbers, but those design ideas typically caused people to fill in the numbers themselves, and that often led to people being upset sometimes about things that weren't really a problem. So that's where they basically said, you know what, part 2, we'll put it in the live letter that shows things like gameplay. Speaking of gameplay, we're gonna get to see new Blue Mage. We are getting 10 more levels of Blue Mage.
I was surprised by this because at first it kind of was like, okay, I guess they took us to 60. Maybe next expansion they'll take us to 70, because originally it sounded like they were going to do it every patch, and then we didn't get anything in 5.3. So I'm happy to see Blue Mage going to 70, because personally speaking, I can't wait to see what Blue Mage is like in Eureka. That's where I'm like, okay, absolutely.
Would it be allowed in Eureka?
That's the question. I would assume it would be, because it's allowed in like some of the raids, and I don't know. Like, if it's not allowed in Eureka, I'm going to be very disappointed. Like, incoming, here's another Brian rant video. I try to keep those to like a minimal.
Just as wild, like, you know, pie in the sky dream speculation never going to happen. I would love to see that mean that in 5.5, that's a weird thing, that we would get it to 80.
Yeah.
And just let us break the universe with months to go.
Let's just go.
But speaking of Eureka, the Bojin Resistance 545 will be doing the new multiplayer content, Delibrum Regine. This is going to be our new Baldesian Arsenal. It will have a 24-man normal and a 40-man savage. You'll be able to like actually find groups for it, like in game. That's like a thing. So there's certain aspects of the Eureka's, the Baldesian Arsenal experience that they're like, we could probably improve that. And it is meant to be so that like everybody gets to experience it at a base level. They don't want it to be too difficult for that, but they do want to leave that difficulty for the people that want it. Very excited about this. It's interesting to get Bojin updates before I'm in Boja. So like, I don't know how excited to be.
Exactly.
Like, it's like, well, this is chapter 2. Yeah. I don't get to go into chapter 1 till Tuesday. Like, how do I know if I need chapter 2?
Exactly.
But yes, it's nice to know the relic that you don't even have yet won't die. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
This is I think that what we're gonna see it start to really pick up its pace, pick up its speed, going all the way through December and then into the new year, etc. So I think this is going to be really exciting to see. The fact that they're allowing for the normal and savage with matchmaking to have that, cool. You're not going to be competing within an instance of itself. So I think this is going to help a lot more people to be able to experience it. The fact that it's got a normal 24-man no role requirement, I think, is a massive change. I think this is going to be exciting to see. The 48-player, have to preform those parties before entering is going to be interesting to see as well. And I think, especially because we got off the Eureka train and then they released Baldesian Arsenal, the fact that we're getting the BA equivalent here, I think is exciting, because I'm ready to go. Hopefully you are ready to join.
It tells you don't fall off the ball. Like, it tells you right up front that like sometime early 2021, you're going to want this. So, and the fact that you can level up, I don't know what that's going to require as far as like metal and your resistance rank and all that, but definitely give Bojin a shot. Crafter and Gather updates, which this expansion's been very, very generous to the amount of time we've seen spent on Crafters and Gatherers. They've made some adjustments to Crafters for actions that are not used as often. And then they're also setting new crafting conditions for high-end crafts. But keep in mind that, like, for anybody that's immediately like, whoa, am I only going to be able to craft pants when it's raining? These conditions, whatever that ends up meaning, I don't really, that was the word they used, will not be applied to any recipes that are added prior to 5.4. So this is just them saying, we made the game very, very basic to enter, and then now we're adding the complexity back in layer by layer. So this is just them getting back to that, which is great. The collectibles and ethereal reduction system are getting a rework. They showed off a screenshot. It looks beautiful. I can't read it, but it looks awesome. Item wear will be removed, putting a focus on gathering attempts and collectability rating. So it's going to be more similar to, they're saying what was from 1.0. I didn't play 1.0. So, like, did you do a lot of crafting and gathering in 1.0 that you can?
Yeah, that's how I made most of my money that I've just continued.
My understanding is the mini game in the Golden Saucer also plays like an homage to the way you
the one exactly. 100%.
Cool. So the gathering and perception stats will affect collectability a lot more now. So it seems like they're going to be putting more of an emphasis on gearing and stuff. So it just seems like they're extending the curve. So there's more of an expert, like, progression-esque, because now the base thing itself has been simplified so much. They'll even get some nice quality of life things, like the little arrows of up and down that we now have on quests will also be applied to, like, gathering nodes so that you can find those. Fisher's got some updates. Fisheye being adjusted, it won't be a requirement for fishing, but then it seems like they're going to leave it in the game to do something else instead. It will now allow players to ignore the time requirement for catching fish. I don't know what they mean by that either. Like, removing the time requirement. You and I kind of speculated on like what that could mean. It definitely could be a way of, like, them trying to get around, like, botting. And some people in chat mentioned that would kind of mess with bots. Is it making it to where you have to move spots less often? Is it making it to where you can catch fish during certain times of day whenever you want now with this buff? Like, I don't really know what that means. It just is a thing they said, and that'll be nice to have as we go into 5.4.1 in January. Crafting and gathering updates, because we'll be talking about Ishgardian restoration.
Yeah, part 4 is apparently coming to a close, so maybe we'll see in 5.5 new housing in Ishgard. We'll wait and see. I did like the fact that they did add the up and down arrows on the gathering aspect. I think that the more it's like, okay, this is higher, this is lower, that's going to help improve those overall performance. So let's talk about the Ishgardian restoration, and basically it commences with a construction of the monument for the crafting class with the greatest contribution. So technically you could see it different on each server. I think that's a nice little homage, a nice little touch. Yeah. A permanent monument to the crafter that contribute, like the class, not like the individual, that contributed the most. So the question is that I wonder what we want that to be.
That's pretty cool. Now this will restart the race for the titles and achievements. Keep in mind the titles stay the same. They don't, you either get it or you don't, but it'll be a new achievement. But that'll be, those Sky Builder ranks will get another round. So hopefully people have been enjoying that content. I know there's been a little bit of controversy on it. We've talked about it here on the channel. And the Sky Steel tools are getting updated. Of course, we knew that. But it's exciting to have that confirmed. And then after that, we get to talk about the Unreal Trial.
Yeah, so they
seem to be difficult, but who we get next?
And they didn't say. They said they were not going to let us know, but they think that most players are actually going to be hyped for it. So I think that's going to be, I don't know who, like if we're sticking with the original primals, because like if we're going to just stick with 2.0 trials, like I would love to see. Like we have Shiva. I'd love to see like Titan if we're like kind of the 3 classics. Otherwise, I'd say Leviathan would be kind of a nice touch to see them brought that back, because that was definitely an interesting one. Ramu, like all of them are good. That's where it's like it's kind of a bummer that it's one per patch, as opposed to like it'd be neat to see if as they build out the Unreal versions, they start picking up pace like in future expansions. Like it's like, hey, it's one a month. Now it's like one every 2 weeks. Here's the new Unreal trial for the next 2 weeks. Go nuts. Go have fun with it. See what you can do for some crazy awesome rewards. And so they also said more treasure hunt updates are coming, so we get some new maps. So that's going to be expanded with the 5.4. If you guys aren't aware, as it has been traditioned at this point, the item level will increase, but this will be kind of the last one. So you'll find that it is both challenging and it's going to be balanced towards the current level cap as well. So you're going to find some challenge. So if you're under power level, it will prove to be a little bit challenging. But honestly, I'm really excited, and they show off some beautiful artwork for maps. I find that once I'm done with classes, I tend to really enjoy maps, and map parties are a lot of fun, especially for streams. So that could be something that hopefully we can start weaving back in as a part of our kind of game nights, etc. That are hopefully going to start kicking back up a little bit more frequently.
That's been awesome. For anybody doing fishing raids, now there will be a penalty for after you abandon, making sure you can't re-enter. I assume that like leaving a duty triggers a penalty normally, but like abandoning a duty. But because of the way fishing raids spawn, there's such a gap between them that I think that's been a hard thing to punish. And so I don't know what that'll translate into, is you can't enter the next time slot, or you can't enter the next 2 time slots, or whatever that is. But I think they're just trying to mimic that same feeling of like, you can't just go into Duty Finder and do your leveling roulette and keep abandoning it until you get a duty you like. I think they're just trying to, because it does kind of ruin the fishing raid for other people if people start leaving, because it drops the likelihood of crazy rainbow awesome time. Which is really what we're all there for. We're there to see like Aurora Lights, like shiny slot machine craziness, which if any of that sounds like, what are you even talking about? Go try fishing raids.
Like, it's definitely a lot of fun. You can start at level 1 and you can just go out there and have a good old time.
So nuts.
Enjoy it. They're also doing
leveling constantly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I've leveled primarily.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding party.
Yep.
Triple Triad updates, new UI is going to be revamped for easier play, new rules and tournaments going to be added, new rule sets for battling opponents, and even a randomly deck kind of like, hey, here we're just going to give you both random decks to play with. I think that's going to be exciting to see, and they're going to start periodically holding tournaments, so I think that's going to be a big plus. They also talked about Mojang and different updates regarding that and how it's what was the update? I totally skipped over it.
Mahjong was going to add a quick match system.
Thank you. Yeah.
And some UI adjustments.
It is the premier Mahjong.
Mojang makes Mojang's behind Minecraft.
Mojang, but it's the premier. Like people are like, and Yoshi P was trolling everybody, saying like, you know, like basically at this point, the rest of 14 is just side content to Mahjong. Mojang, whatever. I can't read or speak. All right, continue, please.
Yeah. Then the materia changes. So when you fix materia, the pentamelding, what you will now do is you will be able to do it all in one go. You'll be able to say you have to have 200 materia, and it will just apply them until it succeeds. So it's one big craft, but once you hit go, it's going to do it instantly, and it will use them till you succeed. So make sure you don't have more at risk than you want to spend, but if it takes 200, it's going to take 200.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's a huge quality of life improvement for how long it takes. That's a lot of money to see spend quickly.
Instantly.
Like I don't know how if you guys do this, but like I like when not all my bills hit on the same day.
Yeah.
Because even if I have the money sitting in my bank account, I like when they hit on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I just don't like seeing all of that leave in one go. It just no. And then violin instruments were added.
And linking quests in the chat.
Oh, this is so nice. So you'll be able to link the quest you're on in chat. If somebody has not completed that quest, it will appear as question marks. If they have, they'll be able to click on it and kind of pull up the log and refresh their memory and go, oh yeah, this is what you're going to need to do. Or, oh, this is where you're at. How cool is that? So I'm really excited for that change. That's a nice quality of life change. I would love to see that start to move towards like, now I can click on that link and like that can put me on that quest with you in a form of New Game Plus. So if I'm playing with a friend who's new to the game, I can kind of just hop directly, not into all of New Game Plus, but just into the quest that they're on, and come join them, come help them, you know, click on flowers or kill things or whatever they're doing.
We got some good PS5 news now, and this is the second one, kind of. So no PS5 version yet, you know, and Yoshi P says that they're not making any PS5 version announcements yet, you know, but he said that it is backwards compatible, and basically for PS5 you're going to get the PS4 Pro features, so you'll have access to those features, and you'll also get the benefit of the quick loading times on the PS5. So that is what the PS5 is, and that for me was a huge relief, because my concern is like, is it going to be ready for day one? My concern was somebody was like, great, PS5, I got one, and I got rid of my PS4. Oh wait, I can't play 14 now. So that was my concern. That my fears have been alleviated. So hopefully anybody out there excited about having the PS5 version of 14, it's still the PS4 version running through backwards compatibility with the enhancing loading that the PS5 will do. So that's exciting to see.
Also, as a side note, Yoshi P did not get a PS5 when he tried to pre-order.
Yeah, he tried to pre-order, and he said maybe a kind warrior flight will
we'll give them his. That's so funny. As for whether they're going to release it in the future, they said just wait for future news. Later, they had, and we'll talk about it in a minute, but they had a UI guy, and they talked a little bit about like building assets for the future and stuff. So just don't worry about it. Just know that it will run on your PS5, and that's really enough for most people. So now they did say, if just as one note to go back to this melding, just as a reminder, the way I said it, it will use it all. They went back and said, if you're nervous about potentially using 500 materia, you may need to use smaller stacks, because once you click go, that's going to be it. Now, they showed off a picture here, and like, I don't know when we talk about this here, but this is G-Pose stuff.
The G-Pose updates allowing you to go explore old dungeons, starting with the 5 series, so all the new 5 dungeons, and you can go take pictures, ride mounts, you can do limit breaks. So they kind of go over that in the UI section of it, so they took a break, but it's like, this is kind of, I think, a really big feature. It's unfortunate because people are like, can you go gather in these old dungeons? And no, this is just kind of a part of that UI, that G-Pose. More features for G-Pose and for pictures within the game. And then they're going to add in more dungeons over time, which that tends to be a theme with 14. Hey, we're going to give you this. This is what it's limited on. And over time, we might. They said they are going to add more dungeons to it, and being that it's the G-Pose feature, because they even joked, like, oh, where does all our development resources and money going? It's going to the G-Pose system. So Yoshi P was on total troll mode throughout this entire thing.
It's called Explorer mode. It'll be in the same menu as going to Unsynced. So it'll just be an additional checkbox there to go into Explorer mode. You'll have to have previously completed the dungeon, and they would like to go back and add previous dungeons later. I think this is why we saw the duty recorder kind of stop getting support as they moved to doing this instead. There won't be any mobs, treasure chests, gimmicks, anything like that. You'll just be loose in there. But in trade for that, you'll be able to use minions, mounts, fashion accessories like umbrellas. And so they just aren't ready to add older dungeons. He talked about getting an error code that, like in Arum Vale, somebody died to poison. So like they don't have everything exactly worked out. Being able to pick limit break 1, 2, 3, show that off was really neat. And at this point, we were in the interview with the UI guy.
I think it's important because that they covered a lot of like how it's all done. But as a part of our summary, what you guys need to know: FanFest for EU has been canceled. All FanFests have been canceled. In February, they're doing their big The Future of 14 announcement. And it looks like that's going to be coupled with a 14-hour stream. Go ahead, Chris.
One more thing on UI.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be excited about this. Aren't you interested in changing your theme?
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot that they showed that off the theme thing. I got distracted by some more JP blog translations of the monk changes. So
okay.
We should probably cover that.
Yeah, we're getting a new theme. We're getting the blue
classic Final Fantasy theme. It's coming. I'm so thrilled by this aspect. So that's going to be real exciting to see in the game. Like I said, once they added the light theme, I was like, can I get my blue theme, please? Let's go. Classic Final Fantasy. So I'm thrilled by that.
Okay, so back to FanFest. FanFest being canceled. Yeah. Normally, we would find out stuff. So, like, how are we going to find out about what's going on with the next expansion?
Mm-hmm. So then that's going to happen in February, and then they're planning a digital FanFest for May. That's not officially confirmed, etc. But I think that's going to be important to see. So February, it looks like we'll learn more about 6.0 at that point. So
during
this could
be 14-hour broadcast.
Well, I think it'll be a focused one, and then they'll be like, and now for 14 hours, we're going to talk about it, maybe. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the summary. Yeah, we've been here before. I'm excited that there's going to be a digital FanFest. At least, hopefully, we can all get together more digitally this year. That'll be fun in May. And yeah, that is the way the world is. What's up?
It'll be 2 days long. The digital form one.
Thank you very much. For Monk made some translation things. Take this with a grain of salt because it could completely be different, but this is coming from some blogs based off of what was said. They said essentially Grease Lightning is going to be reworked as a trait. There's a level that will increase according to your level. This means the higher the player level, the faster your actions will be. Skills related to Grease Lightning will need to be reviewed as thus reworked. You will no longer need to stack and stock them during the battle, and they're making sure to retain that busy feeling that you have done before, and they are reworking hard. They're working hard to make sure you don't feel lax just because it's actually been reworked. So we'll have to wait and see once more comes about, but that's coming out of some translations, so take that with a grain of salt as it relates to the overall system. So,
Tuesday,
we
are getting the community finder is being implemented, and so this will give you the ability to recruit and find in-game communities. So you'll be able to kind of find link shells, free companies, and you can register it. If you register yours to be found between October 13th and October 27th, they're going to give you a whole crap ton of fireworks.
The fireworks was a joke. We don't know if it's fireworks. They said stuff. There's going to be rewards. They haven't shared exactly
They said fireworks.
Did they? I thought that was just Chili just trolling us.
No.
999 fireworks. Like, okay.
999. He said the exact quote was, if you post a recruitment, we will give you a lot of fireworks.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be posting a recruitment. If you guys want to be a part of our free company, we'll have that posted up there.
I don't know what a lot is.
I don't know.
20?
20? 30?
200?
999? And then also we'll try to include this link in the description of these videos and a lot of videos to go and vote for, because Final Fantasy XIV was nominated for 3 Golden Joysticks Award, still being played, Best Game Expansion, Best Gaming Community, still denied music. What the F?
So Best Game Expansion, keep in mind, because of the way these are done, they had to pick a patch. So they picked, so this is for 5.3. So it's for the continued support. It's not for the 5.0. So they really are like, if that changes your vote. Honestly, I think seeing 14 win some awards, still playing award, Best Gaming Community, I think it definitely does really well in these areas. There are other categories, but that's the categories that this game's nominated in. Go over there, take a look. If you played any of those games, give them some love. After this, they talked about merch.
Merch.
Always lots of merch.
Always be merch.
And I think that was about it. So that's kind of a quick rundown.
7 minutes longer than I'd hope, but still giving you guys all the information you need. We didn't do it, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Yeah. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed here to Work the Game. And we've got more fun things planned. Again, hopefully you guys check out the Twitch link. If you're not following on Twitch, we'll be live on Tuesday. Going to be playing some Final Fantasy XIV and probably even some this weekend. So, Chris, do you have any final
thoughts? Thanks to all the new members, subscribers, followers, subscribers. We have to use that word twice because some of you support us monetarily and some of you have just joined our community. Both are welcome. So thank you to all of you guys. It was awesome to get to hang out with so many of you this morning. And I think that's it. I think we're going to go get on with our day and prepare for get everything out of the way so we can play on Tuesday.
For Work to Game, my name is Brian.
My name's Chris.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
This video is sponsored by me, Ginger Prime. Hopefully you'll check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, which we have lots of guests, lots of great conversations, and even more highlights. Links are in the description below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.